Alright, so we are watching a gold 4 DPS on PC. They say, I used to play a lot of Counter-Strike, achieve and face at level 9, global elite, just overall a really high elo player. I tried my best to translate that into Overwatch, but I don't know how well it's going. I know what good positioning looks like, but I am so forgetful. I autopilot rather thinking about what I'm doing. I played my heart out. I know I made mistakes, but I can't help but feel like the positives so heavily outweighed the cons. Things started out well, average game, watched TikTok during prep phase and didn't get to point on time, but alas, it is what it is. Okay, so they're just telling me they're AFK at the beginning watching TikTok. That's a classic. The real juicy bit is when at the end of the first round, my Baptiste types in chat saying that me and the other DPS are bad. I then went on to keep watch on him as we played. When I realized he did not have one good window, he played low ground, so he had no way to heal high ground, I wholeheartedly believe I carried the game. There is no way I should have struggled this much, and I think I don't deserve gold. Yes, I made a lot of mistakes, I understand that. I will not spoil the outcome of the game, but be my guest to tell me what I did wrong. Alright, sounds good. Also, remember that, like, when players from other games come to Overwatch, if it feels like your aim is off at times, it's not really, or like something's like you're like missing more, etc. It's just a little bit different sometimes with the aiming style, just because like there's so many variables, right? Like obviously in like CS, Valorant, etc., it's very consistent with a lot of like the movements and like how everything works. In Overwatch, it's a lot of like different hitboxes, different movement speed, different projectile speeds, different, you know, fall-off damage on each hero, and there's so many variables, so you'll probably have to clean up other part of your game, and they will all come together. Let's find out. Remember, I said they are AFK at the beginning because they're watching TikToks, but apparently their whole team is. So, there's 3 people not at the team fight. There's 3 people. And you know what the best part about this is? I'm going to pause right away. The 2 people that are arguing with each other are the 2 people who didn't show up to play the game right away. How about that? Meanwhile, Emongg is just like, I'm ready, let's go! Everybody else is, you know, the Juno's getting there, the Soldier's getting there. You know, but what a start anyway. Like, the start to this game is already looking rough. Oh, man. I mean, they make it there in time. A little bit of a tip there. Whenever you shoot your dynamite, try not to stand still to be able to shoot your dynamite. I only say that because that's how you randomly get headshot. How do I know this? Because I've had to play a lot of Ashe recently to get better at Ashe, and I've stood still, and it doesn't go well. Be careful on your position in there in the sense of, like, just back up a little bit. Like, I know you want to take the angle, but when you see the Genji go for you, your best bet is to try to disengage as quickly as you can, not try to engage the Genji. Because if the Genji's going to overextend to kill you, you should be fine. The Bap should have saved him. I mean, the Bap probably could have saved him, yes, but I still think backing up is a good idea. There's just something amazing about, like, watching what's happening right now on the screen. See, like, and I'll give you a little bit of to talk about something. There's no way that your BAP is getting mad at the DPS for this part of the game when, like, that is on your Juno, Soldier, and I mean, Soldier is DPS, but and Mauga for just running into their spawn and getting killed. Like, look where you two, believe it or not, it's funny because once again, you two are the ones that are arguing with each other, are the ones playing this kind of correctly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, I love that you just watch a Torb running a straight line this way, chasing your teammates, and y'all are just like, So, I don't know. Because, like, look what good position is doing for you. They can't get a free kill on you, you get a free kill on them, your BAP runs to the point. I think your BAP... no, actually, it worked out. I was gonna say, your BAP went to the point there, but they actually played that correctly. I was a little bit concerned that they were just gonna feed there, but they actually put a lamp down, survived it, and backed away, so, I mean, both of y'all played that fine. Yeah. BAP needs to heal you there. I know that, like, your BAP should have healed you there, but I also feel like trying to outduel the Ana in that situation, like, play it safe. Just back away this angle. Like, go here. Then the Ana has to overextend and you have better... like, you know what I mean? You don't have to sit there and just try to duel every single person. Just back away to the left side. Play an angle. Be careful. I've been there with the dynamites, don't worry, it happens. I've been there before with that one. It happens. Playing the high ground up here. High ground's important. Always important. Keep in mind, though, I do want to point out, I also do understand that in a lot of ranks, the high ground won't be used as much or as effective. And that's okay. You know, as you climb, that stuff improves, but at the same time, I also totally understand that the game will play differently in some ranks, so if you've noticed, I've been a little bit less adamant about high ground at times. I still think it's a good habit to get to high ground, but if your teammates don't want to go high ground or use it, then you don't have to stay up there, you know? It's recommended, is all I'm saying. You can bob this if you want to, but I would be careful that with the double ults you just used. I know you got a kill in the Bastion, but I also want you to think about... what you have going there. You have a Mauga ultimate, meaning your Mauga's going to be unkillable. You have pretty much a free pick on their Genji because of the Mauga ultimate. You also have a Juno ultimate and a Bastion out of position. You're going to win that team fight. So, I would say just be a little bit careful there on using your Bob. I think about ult economy. Ult economy carries games sometimes. Just where you always have ults. But I don't think the Bob is necessary for that question. Genji no deflect. Do your best. Nice dynamite. Good job. Should be a free kill. You got the health back too. Now get out of there. Make it your priority to get out of there for a second. Go up above you again. Same spot. Perfect. Everything's fine so far. Play an angle and throw your dynamite. Looks like you know how to do that. Like I said, you know, you have an idea, which is good. That should. There you go. A shot. Yeah, I mean, I can see where like you have the aim. So, and understanding the position, I think the only thing I've really seen out of you so far that has been your reaction to dynamite sometimes is a little bit off. And then because you have good aim, you have this tendency to try to take duels that you don't really need to take. In that situation there, for example, I'd rather see you disengage backwards towards your team than I would rather see you disengage and do a 1v1 on Genji. Yes, you can win 5 1v1s in a row against Genji, but sometimes in Overwatch, that when you go and try to take that 6 1v1 and you lose it, that's how you get snowballed. The next thing you know, there's 45 seconds on the clock on the other team, and you're wondering what happened. So, you know. Remember, I want you to disengage right side, not to the health pack. To your right. Yes, like this, exactly. Because that's going to be safer for them, and if they overextend to get you, it won't be free kills. This is correct. That's a kind of an unlucky window timing. Yeah, you're dead there. I would not do this. Now, chat, when I was saying I would not do this, what do you think we were referring to right there? We'll see what happens, but... yeah, I didn't want to see a Bob happen. Only because I felt like it kind of debates your team into... You know what, though? You lucked out, okay? You lucked out. The other team also just popped 4 ultimates when they didn't need to use their ult, so it worked out. Only reason why... Okay, so the reason why you don't want to Bob in that situation is because it's a 1v5. I know your teammates are coming back, but, like, Bob can easily be dealt with in those type of situations. The strength of Bob comes from, like, 3v5s, 5v5s, like, situations where you have teammates who can follow up, not in 1v5s, because Bob becomes easier to kill. Now, it actually almost... isn't there value in Bob saving the point? Like, we can talk about the theory of that. So, I think this is one of those... I'm trying to think of a way to explain it, because there's ways where we're both right in this situation, where the counter-argument is that it did get their 4 ultimates out, right? But I feel that if the other team didn't get their 4 ultimates out, then the ultimate looks a lot worse. Exactly. Like, look at their team comp. They have a Rhine. They have a Bastion. They have 2 heroes that can really make Bob kind of useless in that situation. So, like someone in chat just said, if they go with Bastion, they can shred the Bob. So, it's one of those hindsight things where it actually ended up working out because their team ended up over-ulting because of that. But then your team also over-ulted, so it ended up being like a wash. But, like, if I was in that situation, if I was on Ashe, most of the time I would make the decision not to Bob that. Unless my teammates said they were going to be there about 3 seconds sooner. Does that make sense? So, like, it's just one of those things where, I guess it's game theory. Like, yeah, the Bob kind of worked out. At the same time, I'd rather just save the Bob for third, but then it's like, Do you have a bad third point because they have all their ults still because you didn't, Bob? Like I said, like, so that's why I'm saying, like, it's kind of like it can both can be right in that situation. But I think, like, if I had to do one consistent play, I wouldn't Bob it. Either way, on to third point. Sorry, I went a little bit longer on that one, but I think it was good to talk about it at least. Damn, dude. I know your Mauga didn't probably communicate it, but do you know how good it would have been to have your dynamite ready right there? Oh, that would have been great. Yeah, your team's out of ultimates. Now, they do have a Shatter. Like, the other team's ult economy is pretty rough right now, too, though. They do have a Shatter, but, like, if your team recognizes this, you can play around it, but based off of how much time I just saw on the clock, I don't know, we'll see. Not a bad play by your Mauga. It's, like, just getting some aggressive play, so... Don't you love when that shatters you? I still don't think that should shatter the Ashe. I'm gonna be real with you. I just don't think it should have. Health pack awareness, but I don't think you would have been able to get there anyway. I can't believe you survived for this long. Why they get shatter there? I can tell you how it hits. So the way that shatter works and why it always feels really scuffed is because it can actually travel up things. So my guess is it travels up this like arcade machine and goes up here. Do you see? To give you an idea, if you're standing on cart right here and Ryan shatters, do you get shattered? The answer is yes, because of the same issue. It travels up the cart, and that's why they have it set that way. It's so that way people can't just stand on a cart and prevent shatter. Technically, I wouldn't doubt it if... I could be wrong, but I wouldn't even doubt it if you could get shattered up here. I haven't tested it, but if the cart's here and the Rhine shatters this way, it could actually travel up the cart and go up here. I don't know if it would, but like I've seen moments of that where like if the cart's in the correct spot, it will actually travel up really high. I'd have to see how it is. There's a chance it doesn't, but I've seen that happen on maps. Yep. And there you go. The other team finished them. You know, to your BAP saying that your DPS sucked though. I don't think y'all played too bad as DPS. I think y'all had a couple mistakes, but that's fine, right? You know what's funny to me about the Rhine shatter though? On the flip side, have you ever played Doomfist? For anybody who's played Doom, ever notice when you're playing Doomfist, you'll go to shatter somebody, or you'll go to slam somebody, and it won't travel up like here. Like you'll slam like right here, and the person's just standing here, and they just laugh at you. But meanwhile, Rhine shatter's getting you up here. Isn't that great? All right, anyway, yeah, but like just to go back, I don't think you played inherently terrible for your BAP to say that the DPS suck, honestly. But I think like my advice to that is don't sit here and spend the rest of the game hard focusing on watching what your BAP is doing. Just focus on what you can do to win the game. Because you kind of went into like the thing where you're like, oh, then I spent the game like watching what my BAP was doing and doing this. Like, just go worry about what you're gonna do this game. Your BAP, I don't know what they're necessarily seeing in that situation, but great dynamite. But I wouldn't like sit there and be like, now start to watch your BAP and tell them everything they're doing wrong. I would just focus on what you can do to improve right now and do this. So. Because, I mean, you have that sometimes in games where, like, players are telling you, oh, you're not playing this right, you're not doing this right, go this hero. And, like, a lot of times they don't even, like, play the same role. They're just like, oh, get off this hero, go this hero. And it's just like, sometimes you just gotta be like, okay, I'm just gonna go and just do my thing. There you go. Yeah, it's the rank goal. But I would say mechanically, I don't think they're gold. And that's because they did mention they played previous games, etc. I don't think their mechanics are bad. It's going to come down to decision making and probably just playtime, which I'm pointing out some of the things they're doing. So, you hear the Juno. Nice shot. Ideas there, I get it. Thought his BAP died to the Rhine there. Probably just the Rhine's pushing lower ground and they didn't jump in time. It can happen. You can play high ground? Absolutely could. But like, sometimes it just happens. How did the Sombra die to the Rhine? The Rhine randomly charged in and got a kill on Sombra. You know, it's like... Yeah. Nice shots, though. You can bob in here. If you want, you can wait on turret form. I don't know if they used it yet, but... Okay, you're fine. I'm gonna be honest with you, that Bastion's reaction was not the play. That actually works in your favor. Because they ended up giving Bob more value for a little bit. I mean, you ended up losing the team fight, but... Like, that Bastion hecked up by doing that. Good job using the window to get increased damage. Could actually win this. The Moira's looking to DPS you. Oh, nice try. I agree that the Ashe have been playing well. That's why I'm telling them to like just try not to like look at everything that your BAP is doing after that. After your BAP's telling you that, oh, the DPS suck, the windows aren't good. Even like that window they did, it worked. You got to kill through the window. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? But nice, good kills. So. I get the idea of that dynamite. That's funny. It just landed there. That's great. Good job repositioning now. This is the correct play. Taking map control from them. This is exactly what you want to do. Nice shots. Yeah, shots are looking good too. Remember, don't give them a free kill. Yes. Correct play a little bit. Stayed there for too long after the shot because the Genji's obviously going to do that play. But it all worked out. Nice job. You got Bob coming up. Yes. Yeah, that's on your BAP. That was bad positioned by your BAP. Now, you could Bob now because they don't have turret form. But if you're going to Bob, try to get that out. Yeah, Bob's fine. Even if you lose this, I think your Bob time was on par with the Genji one. So, I mean, you know what? Actually, in hindsight, nah, that's fine. I'm not even going to... Because that whole fight's different if Genji doesn't play it at the same time. So, is what it is. Trades for else. Not an amazing Bob, not the worst Bob. I only say that, like, I'm fine with that. Looking for some kills. There you go. Bap's a little bit too aggro. Bap is definitely too aggro. No one's killing him though, so it works out. Good dynamite. A little bit higher above the shield, by the way. A side note on that one. Throw it above the shield a little bit higher and just shoot it right away, and you'll probably get everybody behind the shield. Actually, I would like to see you do that a little bit more. I feel like you haven't been doing that as much as you could. But like the above the dynamite against Ryan, Ryan hasn't really changed their shield in any of the dynamites you've thrown at them. So don't be afraid to do that, all right? No, I know they tried there, but a little bit higher. I'm not saying they didn't try it there. I'm just saying like I want to see more of that. That's just getting used to the maps. That's just funny. We've all been there. Those dynamites happen more often than you think in every rank. I remember even watching, like, we watched, like, OWCS Grand Finals. It was amazing. It was unreal, right? And then we saw that happen a few times, too. It literally, it happens. It's funny. There you go. Try going more above the shield against Ryan with your dynamite. Good job taking the 1v1 against the Genji when they don't have deflect. I'm okay with that 1v1. It's a smart choice. It's when Genji has deflect where you don't want to be like engaged on them because they can basically ruin your play and then time their engagement on you. So when you know they don't have that, it was a good job. Good play. Is it so interesting to watch different ranks and how they play? It's actually helped me a lot too. I've learned things I want to do on heroes. Like even in like as a top 500 player, I'm learning stuff by just doing the spectating series. It's been nice. It's little things. It's things I can pick up on. Things I might go, wait a second, I'm doing that a little bit too much too, and I can learn from it. So it's a fun part. A rank, they're in gold. I don't think they'll be in gold if they keep playing. There you go. That's my take so far. Much better dynamite location. That's what I'm talking about. That was good. Good angles here. You recognize the soldiers to your left, but you don't want to necessarily take the 1v1. Get a free kill. Now you go for the 1v1 after you get a Moira. I like that. Go for the dynamite on them if you want. Or just hit two really good shots. Nice play. Yeah, I'm not worried about the mechanics. I mean, they mentioned that they're... They mentioned that, you know, they... In other games, they're like, you know, they play it, you know, a pretty high, like, level for, like, ranked, etc., right? Like, for ranked, I say, obviously, like... the mechanics are there. It's going to be about decision-making, understanding things, like... knowing when to time stuff, and I think that's going to be their issue. Like, for example, like, we've watched them throw a dynamite at the Ryan shield. Throw it above the shield. Like, you've actually missed some value on dynamites there. Things like that. Positioning gets a little bit too... I think sometimes when they're feeling it, they get a little bit too aggro. As in, like, they try to go for kills, and they're, like, feeling it, but, like, they don't... You don't want to be aggro in certain situations. That's how you fall over and go back to spawn really quickly. So it's just one of those things where I like to see them clean up that part of it, but... entirely upset with their gameplay so far. I think it's fine. If you were to ask me the question, okay, that is a bad window, yes. I can see that one. to the question of, is their BAP correct in saying that they suck and their DPS are terrible, etc.? I don't agree with that. I think, at least from the Ashe point of view, I thought you've been fine. I don't think it's, for a gold game, you were playing very well. Yeah. Nice shot. Shots have been good, though. You've had some good job staying with the orbit, too. That was very good. Good dynamite on the Rhine. Free kill on the Rhine. Now it's on you to go to the point. Nice. 1v1 against the Moira. Nice clutch shots to save your... Oh, no, never mind. Nice shot. When their Moira's hitting shots like that. Good dynamite. Nice. Hey, let's go. Good play. One more, you just boop him away. Well played. Very well played. I don't even have anything to say on that one. You played that very well. Good job. Those are not easy shots to hit, by the way. Just to point that out, those are not easy shots to hit. Like a Juno and a Moira, and being able to get both of them back to back, that's impressive. That's a very good job. Your BAP has also made some good plays that I've seen, and this is kind of why I find it funny that you and the BAP were kind of arguing when now let me point out. Like, if I've seen the BAP make some aggressive mistakes, yeah, I've seen some rough windows, but I've also want to point out their BAP has done like some really cool plays of like going down to the ground, using their mobility, making cool plays. So it's funny that two of the players that I see performing very well in this game are both mad at each other somehow. Y'all had a bad point on third point. Ooh, oh no, I'm so mad. Like, but look it, y'all brought it back. You brought it back and it happens. Okay. Junkrat's been fine. Right idea? I mean, you could still... Oh, that dynamite is looking good. Ah! Look for opportunity, by the way, at times. Like, look at the dynamite you went with in comparison to what you could have done. Look for opportunity. Nice job by your Junkrat to get him in there. Played safe for a second. That's not on your supports. That's your fault. Well, it's not your fault. It's just a good... It's actually... Let me rephrase that. That's not really your fault. It was a good play by their Bastion and a little bit of a... You stayed in that spot for too long. Your supports would have been really... It would have been really difficult for your supports to be able to keep you alive based off of where they positioned themselves prior to that. I feel like it's very common in a teammate that someone will fall over right with the ashes right here. And the reason why I say that is because, like... Yeah, that dynamite is definitely what you meant to do. Because, like, it's you don't look there when you're setting up. So it's like, it's one of those things where I think you just stayed in that spot for too long. All right, let's see if you can at least draw the game. Hey, if you can draw the game, at least then, you know, you don't lose any SR. Hey, nice. Good start. Very good start. That's what you needed. Is Hanzo and Ashe a good... Is Hanzo and Ashe a good DPS line? I'll be honest with you. You could probably play any DPS line if it works. You know? But is it fine? Yeah. I mean, you're double sniper. You need to be consistent with your shots, but I'm okay with that. I've seen plenty of Ashe Hanzo ones. I mean, it's very map dependent. Like, you know, if you're asking me, should you play Hanzo Ashe on, like, Clash? Probably not because of how quick the map is. But if you can make it work, and then make it work. I mean, Overwatch is one of those games where it's you don't have to do that. I think this is what you're better at. Nice shots. Nice, good play. Could be a draw. Nice play. Yeah. The Juno might touch, but yeah, good job. I mean, one, I don't know why your BAP was saying that. You know. Well, your BAP said that you're bad. Like at the end of the first round saying that you and the other DPS are bad. I disagree. I think y'all played just fine. I think mechanically your shots are really good. And I think your movement isn't bad, so you were right on that side of things. Positioning could use a little bit of work. I think a lot of your positioning comes from playing a little bit too cocky at times, in the sense that when you start to feel and like hit your shots, you start to overextend a little bit. So I would definitely find ways to find a middle ground of that. I want you to be an aggressive player who recognizes you can hit your shots, but I also want you to understand that In Overwatch, hitting your shots is great, but you can easily get rolled by certain positions. So just learn how to disengage into your team better, and I think you'll see better results. But I think you're going to climb. To your statement of, like, you don't think you should be in gold, I definitely think this isn't... If you keep playing and you play like that every game, you're not going to be in gold for long. And, you know, I don't know how new you are to the game. You might have mentioned it. It just takes a little bit of playtime understanding that. But I think, yeah, just be a little bit wary on when you get a kill or how you take your 1v1s. Like, isolating yourself against a Genji 1v1 is not what you want to do on Ashe, right? You won some of those, but that's something that isn't, like, a consistent thing. So learn ways to bait out the deflect and then be able to engage them to win the team fight. Don't just, like, sit there and just, like, brawl against them. But I would say, yeah, I'd say you should definitely be able to climb. I don't think you were bad, according to what your support said. Also, work on your dynamites. Your dynamites definitely need some work, especially if you're going to play Ashe. I feel like your dynamites are a big part of Ashe's kit, and the better you are with them, the more results you'll see. But overall, I didn't think you played that bad. I thought it was a pretty good game. And at least you didn't lose. You know, you didn't win, but you didn't lose, so that's always good, right? If you like this video, make sure to the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubers if you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own Spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That is where we do that. We also record these live on stream. If you look below the webcam, you can see the Twitch chat. We also stream on YouTube, so stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun here. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.